So friends, as New York District Attorney Alvin Bragg seems to move ever closer to indicting Donald Trump for at least some of his New York State crimes, I think we all know by now that one of the main trial witnesses against Donald Trump will be his longtime attorney, Michael Cohen. How might Michael Cohen's testimony play out at a criminal trial of Donald Trump? Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, as you may already know, Donald Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, is about halfway through his grand jury testimony. He appeared before the New York grand jury on Monday. Reports are he will return to complete his testimony on Wednesday. And then it looks like the decks are cleared for a criminal indictment of Donald Trump. Let's talk about why Michael Cohen will make the perfect witness against Donald Trump. Let's start with some of the recent reporting. This from CNBC. Former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen testifies to grand jury for 3 hours, will return Wednesday. And that article begins, Donald Trump's ex-personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, testified for 3 hours Monday to a Manhattan grand jury investigating the former president and will return Wednesday to answer more questions from prosecutors about a hush money payment to a porn star that he arranged for Trump. Quote, Michael has spent a long and productive afternoon, Cohen's lawyer, Lanny Davis, told reporters outside Manhattan Criminal Court, NBC News reported. Davis added that Cohen plans to return Wednesday afternoon to complete his testimony. The lawyer declined to go into detail about what Cohen told prosecutors. Cohen, before entering the courthouse earlier Monday, told journalists that his goal is to tell the truth, not to engage in revenge against Trump. Quote, this is all about accountability. He needs to be held accountable for his dirty deeds, Cohen said. Cohen, who served for years as Trump's attorney, paid $130,000 to porn star Stormy Daniels shortly before the 2016 presidential election to keep her quiet about an alleged sexual tryst with Trump. The Trump organization later reimbursed him, Cohen, for the payment, but classified the disbursement as legal expenses. They probably should have classified them as illegal expenses. That's my editorial addition there. The mischaracterization is now the focus of the criminal investigation of the former president. So friends, I contend that Michael Cohen is the perfect trial witness to testify against Donald Trump. Why do I say that? Well, first, let's define a couple of relevant terms. First of all, cooperating witness. Now, technically speaking, Michael Cohen is not a cooperating witness. What is a cooperating witness? Somebody who pleads guilty, and as part of their guilty plea, they agree to testify truthfully about the crimes of others. And they do that, and they get a benefit in their case, either a lesser charge or a lower sentence. That is what a cooperating witness is. What Michael Cohen did is some years ago, he pleaded guilty to his own crimes, including the hush money payment crimes he committed with Donald Trump. He was sentenced. He has since served his sentence, and he is cooperating. He's testifying in the New York District Attorney's case about the crimes of Donald Trump. But technically, he's not a cooperating witness because he's not getting a benefit in his case as a result of testifying in the New York DA's criminal investigation of Trump. But even though he's not a cooperating witness, some of the challenges are still the same for the prosecutors because, people will say, well, Michael Cohen committed crime. Michael Cohen lied to Congress. How could you ever believe a person like that? How can you trust him? How can you credit his testimony? And yes, Michael Cohen committed crime. And he stood up and took responsibility for those crimes. He pleaded guilty for those crimes. He was punished for those crimes, but admittedly, he committed crimes. But importantly, what makes him such a valuable witness is he committed those crimes at the direction of, for the benefit of, and with Donald Trump. That's why he participated in the payoff, the hush money paid to Stormy Daniels to bury from we, the American voters, deeply damaging information about Donald Trump, hiding it from the voters, robbing the voters of the full value of their vote. Michael Cohen did that at the direction of and for the benefit of Donald Trump. Michael Cohen lied to Congress to help Donald Trump. You know, friends, I sponsored a lot of cooperating witnesses in my decades as a prosecutor. Sponsored. What do I mean by that? I worked with and I put on the stand at trial a lot of cooperating witnesses. And every time I did, you know what the defense attorney in the trial would argue, as defense attorneys should argue? It's fully appropriate. They would tell the jury, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kirshner put that criminal on the stand, that cooperating witness, that person who committed crimes, and he expects you to believe him? Shame on the prosecution to bring you such witnesses. You know what I would argue in my rebuttal argument after the defense attorney was done making that argument? I would say, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I don't get to pick the witnesses. If I got to choose who the witnesses in a criminal case were going to be, you know what I would do? I would walk out of this courthouse. I would walk up the street to the 1500 block of 9th Street Northwest, Washington, D.C. You know what's there? The historic Shiloh Baptist Church. I would go into that beautiful old church and I would invite the Shiloh Baptist Church choir to come on down to the courthouse and to testify to you good ladies and gentlemen of the jury about the crimes of Donald Trump. But I don't get to pick the witnesses. You know who picked the witnesses in this case? Donald Trump. And he didn't pick the members of the Shiloh Baptist Church choir. He picked Michael Cohen. That was the partner in crime Donald Trump selected to make those hush money payments, to lie for him in front of Congress. That's who Donald Trump picked to commit crime with. And that is why I was obligated to present Michael Cohen's testimony to you. And friends, frankly, that's how conspiracy cases often play out. Prosecutors work very hard to try to get a co-conspirator, somebody on the inside, a member of the conspiracy, to flip and to testify about not only their own crimes, but about the crimes of the other conspirators. And Michael Cohen and Donald Trump were in this dirty scheme together to make these hush money payments to Stormy Daniels. And yes, the co-conspirators bring challenges with them on the credibility front, but they are the ones who have the most direct evidence of what was going on inside the conspiracy, about what their conspirator, their co-conspirator, was doing. And they have the most sharply incriminating evidence because they can tell the jury exactly what was coming out of the mouth of the co-conspirator, in this case, Donald Trump. And importantly, Michael Cohen has the receipts. He showed some to Congress, and by extension, he showed some to we, the American people, when we watched these congressional hearings. He had reimbursement checks that Donald Trump was signing out of the Oval Office as president. That was part of the continuing criminal scheme. He was reimbursing Michael Cohen because Michael Cohen paid that $130,000 hush money to Stormy Daniels out of his own pocket. And then Donald Trump wrote him a series of reimbursement checks, fraudulently labeling them as legal fees when they really were illegal fees. Michael Cohen has the receipts. I predict, friends, that Michael Cohen's testimony will be believable, it will be credible, it will be accepted by the trial jury, and Donald Trump will at long last, for just some of his crimes, be held accountable. And that is as it should be. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again soon.